Well, if you've never heard Pastor James MacDonald teach and preach, you need to. You need to check out an online ministry. If you don't live in Chicago, you can hear him online. Walk in the Word is the name of the ministry, and you can stream messages, you can get tapes on just about any subject, and it will bless you, I promise you. He's wonderful. Help me understand this stuff. Why did God create marriage? A lot of people today find it much easier to just hook up, find a place to live, and just be friends. Why go through the ordeal of tying yourself to someone through a legal thing like marriage? What's God's point in that?
Well, of course, that's a substantive question that you're asking.
Yeah.
And maybe we could start with the foundational principle of why does God do anything? I mean, why is there a universe? Why are there human beings? And the Bible declares categorically, really from cover to cover, that the purpose of the universe is the glory of God. And, sometimes I'll ask people, Kirk, do you know what the glory of God is? What is the glory of God? And they'll say, well, I think it's like, it could, look, the glory of God is what emanates from God's presence. As heat is to fire, as wet is to water, as light is to bulb, glory is to God. Glory is what emanates from God. We don't see God, we see His glory. The heavens declare the glory of God. The universe itself is shouting that there's a God, there's a God, there's a God, there's a God. So everything that God does is to display Himself, to display His glory. And it's no different with marriage. I mean, the way that a man and a woman fit together, of course the world will tell us that it could be a man and a man or a woman and a woman. What nonsense. That men and women, though they're equal in every way under God, they're different. And the way that a man and a woman come together, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, it's an awesome thing that a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and they become one flesh. Marriage is for God's glory. Marriage is God's idea. And the way that a man and a woman love one another for a lifetime is one of the most dynamic ways that they display the reality of God in their life. And just like you look at a mountainscape or a beautiful ocean and you say, there has to be a God. Yeah. So you look at the way that a man and a woman love each other unconditionally and sacrificially for a lifetime, and you say, look at this. Who can love like this? No, not the world can't. Only people who have God in their life. And so marriage with God at the center is God's idea. It's for His glory, and it displays the reality of who God is.
Wow. Wow. Amen. So when it says here in verse 24 that a man's going to leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, what does that really mean?
Well, leaving his father means that he's now going to be the head of his own home. Leaving his mother, you've heard it said, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Right.
Okay, well, that's not true anymore at your mom's house. That's her thing. Now you go and you have your own house, and a man, when they have their own house. Now my concern is not what does my mom think, though I always want to honor my parents. My concern is my wife now, and taking care of her. She's first. In terms of all human relationships, she is number one. Nothing comes before her. And I'm going to protect her and provide for her and honor her and cherish her in sickness and in health, like we say. And forsaking all others, give myself only to her as long as we both shall live. And so that's what leaving others out, cleaving, now just her, she's number one, and we're one together in God.
So what I hear you saying is that if I'm running back to mom and dad...
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
If I'm married and I'm still running back to mommy or running back to daddy with my trouble, instead of super gluing myself to my spouse, then I'm not leaving and cleaving.
Oh, you're not. No, it's all about that relationship. You can honor your parents, you can respect their counsel, you can listen to them, but number one is that husband-wife relationship. That's first, that's central, and that's the foundation with Christ that you build your home on.
Amen, amen. Okay, the second phrase that's key here is, and the two shall be one flesh. There's kind of a mystical something about that. I mean, we know it has something to do with Christ and the church, but what does it mean that the two become one flesh?
Well, it just means one in every way. It means one mentally, the one purpose, one commitment, one way of thinking, our opinion. It's not my opinion, your opinion, it's our opinion. We work till we're together on it. Mentally, emotionally, we're one. Physically, obviously, some people get that first, and that's supposed to be the culmination of the relationship, not the thing first. But mentally, emotionally, physically, and of course spiritually, they are one.
See, I love that. You emphasize in your teaching about marriage, and I've heard these on your tapes, that this is not a you thing and a me thing, a my thing and a your thing, and your friends and my friends. This is a us thing.
Totally.
This is a we thing,
Totally.
always.
Totally. Kathy and I have just been working through some challenging things recently, and one of the things we've said to each other over and over, it's what we think.
It's what we think.
There's no, I think.
Well, she thinks this, but I think
No. We don't do anything unless we're together on it. We talk it through. No action unless we're together on it, because we're one, and God's going to honor that and bless that. It takes work sometimes, but it's worth it.
And if we have disagreements and we can't seem to get on the same page, how do we become one in difficult areas?
Well, you know, some will really emphasize the fact that the husband takes the lead, and I think the Bible certainly teaches that. But at the same time, one of the ways that he leads is by serving his wife. And so that's not some overbearing, I'm in charge, you do what I tell you, that's awful. That's not it at all.
No.
But loving, serving, working together, and probably not acting and moving forward until you come to a place of agreement.
Isn't that great? And you know, the beauty of that is that God gives these great big concepts in the beginning in Genesis, and then He later breaks those things down in Ephesians and in Colossians and in 1 Peter, and He talks all about how to do those things, what those things mean. To dwell with your wife, to honor your wife, to work together. And that's just what's so great about the Bible. And if you're not reading the Bible, if you're not in a Bible teaching church, you need to be. Life does not work properly without the Bible, and you need to be in a vitally connected relationship with God for your marriage to be great and for you to be honoring God.